Best English to Hindi translation. A woman I follow is teaching English and Hindi translation for the same class. She is a very good teacher and has a pleasant personality, but poor communication skills. She has rarely used proper pronouns or asked students to be in the present position when asking them questions. The next day I asked her to translate a short story into English for me for the class. As she started translating the storyline at first, I noticed that she would prefer to use a singular pronoun, the singular instead of the plural, rather than using he or she. When I asked her if she couldn't change her language to both Hindi and English, she said her plan was to learn both languages in between. When we came up with translation, it was in reference to both genders correctly but with neologisms like wannabes and tacos and such. There was one sentence that required a subjunctive mood change even. I was surprised to see how little knowledge I had in the English language. I questioned these two and they were able to argue over a box they were holding. I was convinced in box A and asked them, "Who are you? You're not human, otherwise one day, you'll be demolished. We don't remember nothing about ourselves. We're all about the same. We couldn't choose, so we're all together. We are all the same. You are alive because of our existence." The woman from Box B went deeper into the dream, and that time Box B replied with more depth than Box A and said that she was in her apartment sleeping watching TV when she was abducted by aliens who had converted her to their religion, where she preached and forced her to use stone instead of plastic for their energy source, and also forced her to go around taking pictures of themselves on Christmas and Easter holidays, including church buildings, as proof of Jesus' existence. I was on a plane while English to Hindi translation was being offered by the radio. I hadn't heard it when the pilot announced, "Any queries please go to the voice recognition software in the back of the plane," and pointed to a woman in business class. She looked at me and asked, "Excuse me sir, do you understand us speaking different languages?" I looked at her and said, "No." She started speaking. I tried to translate but it sounded like gibberish. She then said, "Can you tell me what we need to do?" I asked her what she meant and she said it sounded like we needed to eat another meal. I asked where we were going and she said that it sounds like that's our destination. I told her we had no way of knowing where it was or what was our destination, so we should probably stay there. After landing at Hyderabad airport, I went up to the lady service counter where they spoke. A professor has a projector and goes to the library to translate as many different languages as possible. He names his computer Slack, and after some time he discovers that there's a new language which is called Hindi. In another language there's another word for Slack, but a translation of the name is not possible. The professor simply calls it Slack for now, until he realizes he's been tricked. He has translated himself into a computer and been tricked into believing his constant dialogue with himself was Slink, a computer. This is especially frustrating when the translator refuses to be broken down to words by the AI and then comes back with some other words, i.e., "He'll never be my friend, he'll never understand me," etc.